Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are going to go over how to take a resin part and make it look like brushed aluminum using Alclad. So this is the part we're going to start with. Let's get going. Let's get started. Oh God. So now that the parts are primed and covered with a layer of paint, what we're going to do is a quick, move this, we're going to buff this really quickly with a Brillo pad, like Scotch-Brite pad, not a Brillo pad, Scotch-Brite. Just really light, just to make sure there's no extra rough areas. Did I drop what I need? I think I did. Just a quick little buff, nothing special, just to cover it. Make sure there's no little boogers sticking up. And then where you're going to take some steel wool. This is a piece I've used a little bit, so I'll puff it back up. Sorry guys, I forgot to mention that I am using 4/0 steel wool, which is the ultra fine steel wool. They make it in different grades. If you've never used steel wool before and you're going to purchase it, just ask for the ultra fine steel wool. That is what I'm using. The other stuff will not give you the same results, so keep that in mind. And now back to the video. Basically, we're just going to grip this and turn it. This works well with cylindrical objects. If you have something with a flat face, you basically want to brush with the steel wool in single direction all the way down if you want it to have that machined look. So we're going to take the steel wool and turn it on the primed surface. It'll start to get shiny. You can see that it's starting to become more and more reflective. If your steel wool starts to get flattened out, you can always grab it and sort of puff it back up, give it a few pulls, and it'll expose some more of that sharp surface. Now if you saw in that video of my live feed that I did from Instagram, I was doing the same technique, but I was using a drill to spin the part. It worked really, really great. Alright, so let me see if I can get the light on it, right? So you can see we've got like a little bit of a reflective quality here. Now when it gets this line, like when it reflects back in kind of like an oblong orientation like this, it's called it's an anisotropic effect, and it just is the way the light carries across the surface. Now this is sort of what you want. You can make it shinier than this if you want to, just by polishing it some more. Got some steel wool still on here, but if I can get it to focus, you can see it's relatively reflective, but it's not mirrored finish. This is important if you want that machined look. Clearly I'm just using the primer. I haven't painted any other coatings on here, it's just the primer. I'm going to do the same thing to this part, and for the cube piece I'm just going to basically brush in a single direction like this. Try to make sure that I'm parallel with the edges. That's going to add to that machined look, and I'm going to do the same thing until it's as shiny as this piece is, and then we're going to go at it with the Alclad. One thing that's important here, it's not important, but it helps a little bit, is that this primer is relatively fresh. I only did this maybe like an hour and a half ago. I used Krylon, which dries pretty fast, but it still is just a little bit soft. And what's good about this is when we spray the Alclad, it's going to really adhere to this surface, and it's going to make it so that the part is much more handleable. Handleable? You can handle the part without the Alclad coming off, is what I'm trying to get at. So anyway, I'm going to go polish this one up. Same technique here. I'm just going to turn this with the steel wool. You can see, I'll just do one spot so you can see the difference here. So you can see one area is getting shiny. This is primered, and this is the sort of polished. So this is kind of what we're going for. I'm going to go a little further, but I'm going to go ahead and polish this whole part. Alright, so we have our Alclad lacquer number 107, which is the Chrome ACL 107, ALC, sorry. Put it in our airbrush just a little bit. Make sure you shake this stuff like crazy, because the little metal flakes will sink very quickly to the bottom. Now we're going to set the compressor to about 15 pounds per square inch. Dial this back so we get a little spray here. We want this to be real gentle. You don't want a ton of paint. There we go. And we are going to start painting here. Keep this thing shook up. Very, very fine. So it's going to take a little bit of time here, but it should look really nice when it's done. You can see it's already starting to look like brushed metal, and this is not even a full coat of Alclad yet. Shook up. So you can see it's starting to look very realistic and metallic right now. It gives a very machined look because we kept those lines in the same orientation. We didn't just buff all over, so pretty good. Very nice. Tutorial time. How to make awesome brushed metal with Alclad. Woo. So there you go. A quick look. So I'm going to go finish up these parts here and we'll take a look at everything we're done, but that's the basics. Now after this is dry, you can also polish this down with a piece of tissue paper. And that's an important step. It'll make it even shinier than it is now. The way I'm going to polish this down is just with regular toilet paper. Tissue paper works as well. And you basically just buff it into the surface. And I don't know if you'll be able to see a lot of difference on camera, but in person it clearly affects the reflectivity. As you can see here. I guess you can see it on camera pretty well. So I'll try to really buff that in. And don't be scared to use some pressure there. And a little bit of pressure really helps infuse it with the base layer of paint. Now this is a part where having slightly fresh paint underneath is helpful because it's still a little bit soft. So when you do this buffing step, it really helps to super infuse it. So this part you'll be able to handle this and not worry about the Alclad coming off as easily. Essentially what you're doing is you're taking the microscopic flakes of metal that are on the surface and just orienting them all the same way by bending them down. And it's on such a small scale you can't really see it with your naked eyes, but that's what's happening, and that makes the light reflect at the same angle, makes it look shinier. So after we do that, you're basically done. So, you know, beginning step, pure resin part, to a basically faux machined aluminum piece using Alclad. And just primer, not following the Alclad directions, doing what we want to do with it because that's way more fun. So anyway guys, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you soon. Say hi to McMaster. Oh, we're not going to point the camera over there right now. Bye.